I'd like to welcome you all to another Kali Tutors tutorial session. In this tutorial session, we'll be focusing on ENN1504 assignment number 1. If you are new to our YouTube channel, please subscribe to get access to the latest public videos the moment that we upload them. If you'd like to join our membership channel, please click the join button. So these are our objectives for this particular tutorial lesson, okay? We'll first look at the introduction to question 1. Here we are going to discuss the background and the instructions for question 1, okay? Then after doing that, we are going to look at the marking rubric so that we understand exactly what we are going to do or what we are supposed to do in order to get high marks, okay? Then we are going to devise a strategy to approach this particular question. Then after doing that, we are going to read the entire draft memorandum, okay? After that, we are going to discuss the structure of a memorandum, okay? So here we are going to focus on a structure of the memorandum that is typically written by municipal managers to residents, okay? Remember, there are various formats for memorandums depending on what you are trying to achieve, okay? Then we are going to provide you with an example answer. So we are going to write an entire memorandum, or we are going to revise that memorandum, then provide you with the entire memorandum to use as guidance, not to copy as your own work. Remember, if you take our work and present it as yours, you'll be marked as someone who had plagiarized, okay? So try to use what we provide here to guide you to write your own memorandum, okay? Then let us look at the background information. So this background information here comes directly from your assignment question, okay? I am just going to read this and explain if there are things that needs to be explained, but otherwise I'm merely going to read this, okay? Okay, it reads as follows. Potholes in the municipality, particularly those on the R30 highway, have been the subject of several complaints to the Bodikela municipality. The highway is used by community to go and from work. Traffic is a nightmare during the rush hour. Cars are damaged and some motorists are involved in car accidents due to potholes that the municipality has neglected to repair. The community has threatened to go on strike in 2 weeks if the municipality does not repair the potholes that are damaging their cars and causing accidents that can be avoided. As the municipal manager, you have compiled a memorandum informing the community about the repairs and general works to be carried out on the highway. Okay, so the first thing that you need to understand from this is that you are the one who had actually compiled the memorandum. So let us move on now to look at the instructions, okay? These instructions were taken directly from your assignment question, okay? So the instructions read as follows. Read the draft memorandum below, which contains some deliberate errors, and improved it by revising, editing, and proofreading it. This means that you should write an improved final version of the memorandum, which will be sent to the staff. In your final version of the memorandum, you should revise the structure of the memorandum, include additional relevant information and omit irrelevant information, use correct grammar and sentence structure to establish the appropriate style and register, write well-structured paragraphs that are concise, coherent, and logically sequenced. Okay, so you now have the background and the instructions. The next thing that you're supposed to look at is your marking rubric, okay? It also provides you with some additional information as to how to approach the question, okay? So let us look at the key parts of the marking rubric, okay? So if you look at the marking rubric on your screen, you'll notice that I've selected or I've extracted parts of the entire marking rubric, okay? So here we are only gonna look at the things that you're supposed to do in order to get between 19 and 25 marks in terms of content and revision of structure, 19 and 25 marks in terms of language, style, and coherence, okay? So when we are done, this is what they are gonna look at, okay? The structure of the memorandum is accurately revised, okay? They wanna make sure that the structure of the memorandum is accurately revised. They look at your work and determine whether you've actually revised the structure of the memorandum. So don't worry too much about the structure at the moment. We are going to discuss that in great details in the next few slides, okay? Then they are going to look at relevant information has been added to the original memorandum, okay? So there's a lot of information that is not there, okay? We are going to discuss this as well. I'll provide you with an example answer. They also have to make sure that all irrelevant information has been omitted from the memorandum, okay? So there's information that they included there on purpose to make sure that they include redundant information, okay? So you need to omit that information. You do not need that information in your final version, okay? In terms of language, style, and coherency, they will determine whether correct use of grammar and sentence structure to establish the appropriate style and register, okay? So this is what they're gonna look at. Okay, did you use your grammar correctly? Okay, the sentence structure, is it okay? Or in the style and register, is it appropriate? Okay. And lastly, they're gonna look at if all paragraphs are concise, coherent, and logically sequenced, okay? We are going to discuss this in great detail, okay? So let us move on now to the strategy that we are going to use in trying to answer this question, okay? So the best approach to this question is to actually ask questions. Okay, these questions will be derived from our marking rubric. Okay, so the first question is, what is the correct structure of a memorandum sent by municipalities to community members? Okay, you need to find out if the structure that has been presented in your draft memorandum is actually the correct structure. Okay. What information is missing on the draft memorandum? So in a typical memorandum from a municipality to address a particular issue, what information is normally given, okay? Or what information must be included, okay? The third question is, in the draft memorandum, which of the information provided is irrelevant, okay? You can only identify irrelevant information if you know what's expected to be there, okay? And the fourth question is, what is the correct use of grammar and sentence structure to establish the appropriate style and register, okay? We'll also discuss this in great details. And lastly, you have to ask, how can I make paragraphs concise, coherent, and logically sequenced, okay? If you can answer all these questions, you should and you will get high marks for this particular assignment, okay? So without wasting your time, let us now look at what's written as the draft memorandum, okay? So this is the header that has been provided in the draft memorandum, okay? It says from management to the communities at large. The date is 07 May 2022, and the subject is we are repairing, okay? So if you're looking at this, okay, you can identify a lot of errors, but at the moment we are not going to discuss that in details. We'll discuss this in later slides, okay? So we're just merely reading what's written on the draft memorandum. Let's move on now to the next slide. Okay, so this is the introduction that has been provided in your draft memorandum, okay? And it reads as follows. The municipal manager of the Bodikela municipality has heard you, the community, regarding the state of the R30 highway. I understand that you are all complaining about the poor state of the highway that contributes to the increased number of road accidents and deaths recording daily. The municipality extends condolences to families that lost their loved ones on the R30 and words of comfort to those with injuries and those who suffered emotional trauma from the accidents involving their cars. The relevant authorities within the municipality have been working tirelessly to assist all relevant claims and are still doing so for the benefit of the community. Bear in mind, my efficient team are working with the road fund claims and car insurance companies to avoid any delays from our side. So after reading this introduction, you must have some questions, okay? The first question is, how long should a proper introduction on a memorandum be? Okay, how many sentences, how many lines, and what information is supposed to be included in your introduction, okay? If you can answer those questions, you are on the right track. If you can't answer those questions as yet, do not panic. We are still going to cover that, okay? Okay, so let us look at the next paragraph. Okay, so the next paragraph is the body, okay? The body reads as follows, okay? The Management Council of the Bodikela municipality has approved the 10 million rand budget allocated to repairing the potholes on the R30 highway. The repairs are scheduled to run over a period of 4 weeks, 1 month, starting on 1 June 2023 until 29 June 2023. The road will be partially closed for the repairs, and members of the community are advised to use another roads. For those who can't use alternative roads, there will be visible policing and traffic management by the Bodikela Metro Police Department every morning and afternoon for 4 weeks. At this point, you are expected to ask questions, okay? So the first question is, what type of information is expected in the body of a memorandum? Secondly, what type of information or what information has been included in this memorandum that is not supposed to be in this part of the memorandum? Secondly, what information is missing in this body of the memorandum that is expected to be included? Okay, if you can answer those questions, you are on the right path. If you can't, just follow along, we'll get there, okay? So let us look at the closing remarks and sender information, okay? Okay, so it reads as follows. Further communication from the municipality will be communicated on the community radio stations, local newspapers, and SMS messages will be sent as well. Okay, then they provide us with the name of the sender. In this case, it's Nontsikelelo Sibanyoni, and then the signature, it's Nontsikelelo Sibanyoni. They give us additional information. Manager, Bodikela Municipality. Then she provided her email address. She also provided her number. Okay, so be careful when it comes to this number. If you are not careful, you won't realize that there are actually 9 numbers. Okay, so you must edit that. You can put any number there to make those numbers 10, and then also provides us with where she's located. So this is basically the office. Okay, so we're basically done with the entire draft memorandum. Okay, since we are done now with the draft memorandum, it is time to look at the structure of the correct memorandum. Okay, let us move on to the next slide. Okay, before we begin with this, okay, let us ask a very important question. What should a memorandum sent by a municipal manager look like if the aim is to update the community on road repairs that will take place in the future? Okay, The answer to this question is it must have a header, it must have an introduction, it must have a body, and the body should include background, okay? It should provide reasons for the repairs and what exactly will be repaired by the municipality. Secondly, it must have like statements on the impact on traffic. How will motorists be affected during this time? Thirdly, it must provide alternate routes which motorists can use. And lastly, it must provide information on how residents will be updated and who they should actually contact in case they have inquiries, okay? And lastly, it must have closing remarks and information about the person or the office that sent the memo, okay? So with that in mind, let us try to revise the draft memorandum, okay, using this as our guidance, okay? Let's first discuss the header, okay? Okay, so this is the header that we were given on the assignment, okay? If you look at the draft, okay, you will see that the term or the word from, to, date, subject are all not in caps, okay? The first thing that you must change, write these ones in caps, okay? Then after doing that, make sure that the keywords okay, begin with a capital letter. For example, management should be capital letter M, and this one here, the community at large, they should be capital letter C and capital letter L. I don't mean to say that this is what you're supposed to write as your two, okay? I'll provide you with an example in the next slide. I'm just illustrating that keywords are supposed to start with the a capital letter, okay? And you will also notice that the date here is incorrect. If you're sending a memo in 2022, it can't be a memo that's for something that's gonna happen in 2023, okay? So change this to 7 May 2023, okay? Because the construction or the repairs will start on the 1st of June 2023, okay? So just change this. This is incorrect. You can use any date, but it has to make sense, okay? It must be in 2023 and it must make sense, okay? When it comes to the subject, make sure that the actual subject is written in caps as well. So we are repairing should all be in caps, okay? Okay, without wasting your time, let us look at some of the example answers that you can use, okay? So let's go. Okay, so example answer number 1 will look something like this. Example answer number 2 will look something like this. If you notice, I have already changed the term or the text from, to, date, and subject to caps, okay? This is what you're supposed to do. Make sure that your text here is aligned, okay? You can use a tab. Normally a tab works. So then you can write the name of the municipal manager like this, Nontsikelelo Sibanyoni, and then underneath that text you write the position. In this case, she's the municipal manager, okay? And then you have to direct your memorandum to the residents of Bodikela municipality, okay? As you can see, we have changed this and we have also changed this, okay? And then your subject must make sense. It must actually tell them what exactly this memo is about without using a lot of words, okay? In this case, you can just say road repairs on the R30, okay, if you opt to write something like this. Or example number 2, you can state that the memo is from Bodikela municipality, okay, in general. So since you are writing or you are representing Bodikela municipality, you can actually do this. Say the text is from Bodikela municipality to residents of Bodikela municipality, and then change your date. And then the subject here gives more details, okay? If you look at this one, it says that road repairs and traffic disruptions on the R30 highway, okay? So this is the subject of what? Of the memorandum, okay? So if you write it like either of the two, you should be fine, okay? Then now let us look at the introduction.